You did staff college in 82 and then 88 moving on to IPKF. Many of you listening to this podcast would not have been born then. So let me tell you a little bit. IPKF stands for Indian Peacekeeping Force, which went to Sri Lanka in the year 1988 as part of the peacekeeping forces while the Sri Lankan economy was struggling with militancy from the LTTE. So I would just like to talk about that. How was his experience from the time they landed? And I remember when he left the Sri Lankan soil, the local newspapers had tagged him as Tiger Gill. So from being Lieutenant Colonel Gill to being Tiger Gill, what happened there? And I'll hand over the mic and let's hear it from him.
Time came when we were supposed to go to Sri Lanka because Sri Lanka had turmoil of Sri Lankan and LTT. So when we used to go to the airfield from Pune every night and come back at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, seeking today there's no flight going to Sri Lanka. And one day suddenly when we were waiting at the airfield, Pune, Lohegaon, and the 3-4 aircrafts came, 737. They lifted us, went over Jaffna. Jaffna people did not allow us to land. We came back to Chennai and landed there, and we were stranded at the airfield. We stood that night there. Thereafter, we were told to go by sea.
Some water?
Then, thereafter, we were told to go by sea. So our two companies and we two major, myself and Vijay Kumar, we went across to Sri Lanka by sea and we hit Trincomalee. Off Trincomalee, we were waiting there for about 2 hours. They had their formalities to let us in. We landed there, and since I was a leading company commander, I was given one captain from the Sri Lankan army. I asked him, where do we go? He said, sir, our destination is Bandar Camp. Now I was surprised that why is he called Bandar Camp? Whether I should hit him back or is he joking with me? When they asked him, explain the location of Bandar Camp and who are there and what we are going to do there. He said, no, there's our paramilitary forces there. They have their camp and you will be located in that camp. So I relaxed a bit. Any case, while we were going, that Bandar Camp was something around 150 to 200 kilometers away.
That was the particular district?
But it was in particular district. From Trincomalee, we entered into particular district. In the en route, when we were going, people used to wave at us. They really thought that we have come to save them. People were standing on the roadside with water buckets and all these things. I stopped at one the place since I was in a jeep, other convoy was in the 3 tons and 1 ton. I stopped at a place to take some little water. One of the old lady came and started touching me from shoulder to everything. I asked, I was not knowing the Tamil language. My interpreter was with me from engineer regiment. I asked him what she is doing. She asked her, what are you doing? She said, I am trying to find whether he is a man from sky or he is a man from the earth. Devta hai kya? So I was laughing like that. The people were so innocent. And in any case, like this, we reached Vetikula. Thereafter, the IPKF operation started. And thereafter, we had all our task cut out. We were located in one of the place of church, which is called Manresa. Particular Manresa. We located there. We were operating from that place. And then after that, many operations started, and we were there I was there as a lieutenant colonel for 1 year and 8 months. Then I was posted out to center, becoming full colonel. The life started at the center in a different way.
So I will just fill in here that what changed for him when he was in particular, they went as peacekeeping. And how come he got labeled as Tiger Gill when one day they were moving in a convoy and the 3 ton ahead of him, which had almost 20 plus soldiers from his company, and it blew up. And he saw their body parts fly all over the place, and somewhere he felt that I'm responsible for the lives of these men. How am I going to answer to their families when we go back? And therefore, this is not just a peacekeeping mission. My primary focus and my primary purpose here is to ensure the safety of my men. I have to take each one of my men back home because their families are waiting for them. And so, the approach to dealing with the situation got into the aggressive mode, got into a little more, than just being there on the watch, because it was now all about saving the men. So, probably that shift to being the aggressive was captured by the newspapers, and they called him the Tiger Gill, right? And now we move ahead a couple of years when he finished his tenure in the army, and he took on re-employment because he felt, hey, I have so much juices still flowing in me. I'm not ready to retire, so I'm going to take on an extension. And that is the time he picked up finally a passion other than work and his family, which is golf. So every afternoon when he would come back from office, while all of us were all ready to have our siesta after lunch, he would switch into his golfing gear, pull on his golfing shoes, and he had that red colored Enfield Bullet Machismo, and he would get onto the Machismo and ride to the golf course for 4 long hours in the hot afternoons. He would be golfing away, playing all the 18 holes. And so, what about golf was so fascinating for you that you would sacrifice your rest, your sleep, all anything, come hell or heaven? He would be there at golf and not miss. So, we would like to know what about golf was so fascinating for you.
As they say, the life moves on, all innings come to an end. I reached my pinnacle, full colonel rank, and came up for the age of retirement. When I retired, I had active in life, lived a very active life. So I was finding, since I was a sportsman playing hockey and other games in the forces, so I used to look around what to do. One day, one of my friend, he asked me to come to the golf course, and he gave me little bit of know-how how to play golf, and he was also himself a good golfer. So I started picking up, and thereafter I got so enchanted with the golfing game. I found it is one of the best relaxing game. Even after spending a day, half day in the office, and immediately come and have lunch, go to the golfing ground, have your friends together, talk all gupshup and play 18 holes or 9 hole, whatever time permits you. It was very relaxing. I found it quite good, and I am continuing till today.
Wonderful. So it's been like now almost, I would say, about 30 years since he started golfing, and he's still so active. In spite of the stroke he had, in spite of his left side, getting impacted and not being fully free movement, he has bought himself a golf cart and the name Gill written on it. So he rides the golf cart to the hole, gets down, and hits the ball in the hole, and then rides to the next. That is what we call focus on a goal, having a purpose, staying committed to what you want to do. And that's, I think, his commitment to his good health, his commitment to having a purpose for every day, and not just, one day merges to the next. You're just lazing around without a timetable. Every day, the highlight is I'm going to play golf. It keeps him fit, it keeps him active. The strategizing mind of the infantry soldier is at work every day, and most importantly, networking with his friends.